Welcome to Tshirt University podcast. My name is Omar Mohammed, and over there is.
Murphy Pascal.
All right, good deal. So, Tshirt University, where we take your brand to school. So that's a collaboration between, the two of us. If I could do this, the two of us. So we thought we would kick the first workshop off, or podcast off, by just letting people know who we are. And then we'll go into what Tshirt University is all about. So, Murph, you want to get started? Just let
Yeah,
people know
sure.
who you are, where you're from, and what you're doing.
Yeah. So Murphy Pascal, born and raised in Baltimore City.
What
Uh,
side?
from, yeah, former
No, what
Baltimore.
side?
Oh, West Side, Northeast.
All right, so in Baltimore, we got East versus
Okay,
West,
right.
versus East and West and Northeast, and anyway. All right.
Yeah. Northeast. For a lot of people, that's in walking distance of Morgan State University.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's a good landmark to use. But like I said, born and raised in Baltimore City, former Baltimore City police officer, and a serial entrepreneur. That entrepreneurial bug bit me in high school, and I've been chasing the dream ever since. But just to give you a little background, I maybe like 20 some years ago, when I really wanted to get in business, I knew that I needed a business plan. So I sought out women entrepreneurs of Baltimore to do their business plan class. And the way they do it, they invite potential signees up to do like a little seminar where we sit at a round table and discuss our idea with one of the current members of Women Entrepreneurs of Baltimore. And then we have to step outside and make a decision who they want to pick. Well, that day I didn't get chosen. But, what I found out in life, usually when one door closes, another door opens. And so I found out that Omar Muhammad, yours truly, was teaching, with them, but he also decided that he wanted to venture out and start his own business plan class. And here I am. I signed up for that class and was one of the members of the first inaugural class.
That's right.
And Omar's been my mentor ever since. So, the rest is history. But to, bring you up to snuff, I originally started a company called Black Owned, Black Operated, where I created a decal that would go into storefronts to let consumers know which businesses were owned and operated by African Americans. But to get that word out, I said, maybe I need to take that decal and put it on a t-shirt, to really market and advertise. Had a little struggle because people really couldn't buy into it. They was like, what is this black on black operated? I don't want to wear that, and all of that type of stuff. So I said, I got to do something a little more hip, to really grab folk. And thus I came up with the concept of black paper. Meaning black paper is black money. Rappers talk about why they trying to stick me from a paper, all that type of stuff. So I created a concept behind that. And 3 years of doing this, I was able to get into stores, Shoe City stores in Baltimore, and also developing a class which with this podcast is built around Omar and myself. We want to develop a class to teach young people how to do what I'm actually doing, running a business using my.
You jumping ahead, man. We're gonna get to that.
Okay.
Talk about yourself, man. we gonna get there.
We're gonna get there. Okay. But basically, that's who I am. Born and bred in Baltimore, serial entrepreneur.
All right, so you can ask me questions too.
Okay.
So Omar Muhammad, born and raised in Baltimore too, East Side.
East Side.
It's not that far from Morgan, where I grew up. So born and raised in Baltimore. At the age of 12, started my first business. So my parents helped myself, two brothers and two sisters get started in business. We sold candy, cookies, and all that stuff that wasn't probably good for you. But we sold it, and people turned out pretty good.
Okay.
I'm a graduate of Morgan State University. So prior to coming to Morgan, I already had several businesses in mind. And you hear people say that they're serial entrepreneurs. Well, I'm one of that. I'm joining the bandwagon as well. I'm a serial entrepreneur. And it's interesting, Murph. I don't know if you knew this, that one of the businesses I had when I was a freshman here at Morgan State University it was a t-shirt company that changed colors according to your body temperature.
Wow, I didn't
Yeah,
know that. Wow,
yeah,
okay. We
yeah.
had to break that back out.
I know. I need to find the company. I don't know where
Yep.
the company is, man.
Okay.
But yeah, so we put designs on the t-shirt, we sold them, and we made out pretty good with those. So that was one of the companies that I had. So over the years, I've had multiple companies in different industries, and each company taught me a lesson to really better myself in future opportunities. So this opportunity about entrepreneurship, it's a lifestyle. As my wife said, it's a lifestyle. And we are enjoying this opportunity. So as you see on my shirt and on the back here, entrepreneur is our brand. The brand came about from us visiting schools. We did this, what we call the Entrepreneurs Go to School tour, and we would speak to students about starting a business and what an entrepreneur was. And many of them would say they didn't know what an entrepreneurship was, or they didn't know how to spell it. I mean, grown folks don't know how to spell it. So
Okay.
we're helping we're helping them spell it. So I'm the
Oh, okay.
I'm the ambassador for it. And it really is not just to talk about entrepreneurship. It's really to say that we're working with youth and we're exposing them, giving them an opportunity to experience entrepreneurship firsthand, as well as to create a entrepreneurial mindset. So really educating youth from K to 12 about entrepreneurship. So when you see this particular brand here, that's what we're focused on. I ran into Murph back in the day when he had Black Home, Black Operated, and then he came out with Black Paper. And then he was working with me to do what he's doing, and that's where Tshirt University came about. How can we both work together to build out our individual brands, but how can we help other individuals, especially youth? For those who are not in Baltimore, we have some challenges here in the city, and I'm quite sure that's in a number of cities across America, really across the world. One of the things that we're looking to do, this is not just a solution. This is a great opportunity for us to be a solution to help individuals experience entrepreneurship, feed themselves. For those that need, well, all of us need to eat. So we want to make sure that everybody eats, and we want to give them the resources to do that. And oftentimes, people don't have $1 million to get started. They don't have 100,000, 50,000, and may not even have 5,000 to really get started in business. So this is one way in which individuals can begin to think about what their brand is telling the world. And we're going to work with them to really hammer this out. So with that said, Murph, I'm going to turn it over to you, and you want to talk about more about Tshirt University. Again, we're not the experts, but we know stuff.
Right.
We're going to bring on this podcast individuals who will not only help Murph and I build our brand, but we'll have individuals that come on to help you build your brand as well.
Right.
We're kind of the connectors between the brands and the brand builders. So as you're growing your brand, we're going to be growing our brand as well.
Right.
Tshirt University came about.
Right. So, what's funny, just like your wife mentioned that this is a lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
it just dawned on me that I've been doing this whole T-shirt thing for 25 years. It doesn't even seem like that
Wow.
long. Starting back in 1995 with Black on Black Operated,
Yeah.
I learned to register my own trademark. I
Mm.
found ways to get my shirts printed, cheaper than most, and I just have a myriad of information
Yeah.
to share, and it's done 25 years of experience. So I mean, I have a lot of knowledge
Yeah.
to give to folk. But getting back to what you said,
So we are the experts.
what? Yeah, yeah, 25
That's what it's
years.
fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
and
lot.
if we add my 20-something years when I had my t-shirt
Hey,
brand,
there it is.
45, we experts. And
We
we're gonna bring more
experts.
experts on.
Exactly, exactly. But something happened in Baltimore, and you kind of alluded to some of the troubles that we have in Baltimore.
Mhm.
There were a group of young men, four young men that got into some trouble in Baltimore.
Yeah.
And I didn't really want to get too much into the details because I have a certain opinion about it. But with that being said, when the news came out about what these young men were involved in, a lot of people on social media were calling these men animals. I mean, these young cats animals. And I took offense to that because I looked at these young guys. They looked like me. They could have been my son, my cousin, my nephew. These were young men. I just kind of felt that maybe they didn't know how to connect the dots. They wanted something out of life, but maybe they didn't know the right path to get it. It wasn't right in front of them. The negative way was more accessible to them. So I said to myself, man, with what I do as far as running Black Paper Streetwear, I actually run my business on my cell phone, and I use social media in order to market it.
Yeah.
So, hey, right here, this is my store right here, my cell phone.
Wow.
And I said to myself, wow, I could teach kids to do the same thing. It's very user friendly. And maybe I could impart a certain amount of wisdom that a young man or woman will come to that crossroad in their life and say, you know what, I don't have to go do this negative thing over here. I can actually make money, through my cell phone, creating a brand, a national brand, so to speak. And with the information that you and I will impart on them,
Yes, sir.
the possibilities are limitless. I mean, we introduce them just to this concept, it's going to branch off to other types of businesses, especially with the information that you and I have to give to them. Man, the possibilities are really endless.
Yeah, absolutely. And being on the college campus too, and working with my wife and I, we do a youth entrepreneurship conference, and it's for middle high school, so 10-year-olds to 18-year-olds. Many of them are looking to create their own brand, and we're going to be one of those resources to help them at least get the information and experience it. If they want to take it to the next level, we can help them do that. If they just want to have it just for fun, I mean, they can do that as well. The key is to giving people the opportunity, especially youth, an opportunity to have the resources so that they can begin to explore entrepreneurship, so they can begin to look at the t-shirts, because everybody and their mother wants the t-shirts. You watch these
Exactly.
sporting events, they throwing the t-shirts to the crowd. They got guns, they pumping them up, and everybody wants a t-shirt.
Right.
So how can we begin to work with individuals to help them build their brand? And
Right.
and that can encourage they can encourage someone else to take on that opportunity as well. So they start creating a brand, and they may like, man, how did you do that? Well, I went to Tshirt University. They helped me get started from my idea, from having an idea to taking it to market. And that's where, for us, our brand right now, and it's really at the conference, and we have a store. Um, but Murph told me I need to do some other stuff, so we need to modify that. But he's doing it on his phone, like he said. He's drop shipping merchandise, hats, shirts on his phone. And
On
that's
the
what
phone.
we want to teach individuals how to do that as well.
Right. And another thing that I'm learning, because I advertise, of course, like I said, on social media. So a lot of adults hit me regularly saying, how can I do that? Because they want, like we said, a pipeline to other streams of income.
That's right.
People are, hungry for different ways to supplement their income. But the one thing that I was thinking that we will end up helping develop the future business leaders of America. Meaning, you're going to have the next quote unquote like Black Bill Gates or something like that, and he'll be able to say, "I got my start at Tshirt University," because the thing is, they get involved in this. It starts making that antenna stick up for other business opportunities, beyond T-shirt. So, man, we could really make a huge change in a place like Baltimore City.
Absolutely.
Especially with the climate that's going on, and we got I don't want to even say the numbers.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna say that, but just with what's going on, we could really, to me, have a paradigm shift, so to speak, in the culture within Baltimore. Just kids by word of mouth saying, "Look, man, this is what I'm doing. You can do this too. Let me send you to those guys at at Tshirt University. They'll get you on your way."
Yeah. Good point, Murphy. And we're using this particular platform here to really bring on experts outside of Baltimore, because we don't just want this to, in the beginning, of course, Tshirt University will be in Baltimore. But as we grow, we want to be in other parts of the world as well. So this particular platform allows us to at least begin to have conversations with individuals who have been in a field where, Murph and I, we may not have an opportunity. We may not know something in branding, so they'll come on and provide those resources to help us as well. So we're using that platform to expose not just people here in Baltimore, but expose people around the world that your brand says something.
It says something.
Yep, and we're gonna take you to school with
Right.
that.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, these young kids are going to teach us something.
And they're gonna teach us something.
They're going to teach us. I mean, because today, especially with the advent of technology, got 10-year-old kids, man, they know different technology things back and forth. Like if my computer was down, I could get my little nephew. He'll come in there, do what he has to do. And I'm like, how do you know that? But they were born with this stuff,
Yeah.
growing up with it. So you and I, we're gonna learn some things from these
Yeah, I
young
look
folks
forward
as
to
well. I look forward to it, man.
Yeah.
I am really pumped up.
Absolutely. So a couple of things, we just wanted to come on for the first episode to share, our story about the brands that we're representing, as well as why we're doing Tshirt University, the podcast, and Tshirt University, the class as well, the training class. So we wanted to come on to share that with you. So we also want to let you know that we'll come on in the beginning on a monthly basis, and you can find us on YouTube. So for now, we're on Facebook at Tshirt U, just the U, the letter U, and podcast. So Tshirt U podcast. You can find us on Facebook. We'll populate that with activities that we have. But also, we want to build a community. So if you have something that you want to, that's going to help out someone else that's on the Facebook page, then feel free to share that information. And then we'll be on YouTube to showcase to the world that Tshirt University is here, as well as the podcast is here as well. So those are the things that, oh, and if you want to be a guest, if you want to add, if you have something of value that you want to add to Tshirt University, even in the academy, because it's nothing to stop us from using this same technology in the classroom. So as we do the classroom, and if there's someone out there that's in another part of the country, part of the world, we can zoom you in, if you will, so that you can add value to the students that are in the particular class. So reach out to us. Tshirt U, the letter U podcast. It's on Facebook. You can send us a message if you want to be a guest. We do have a guest form, and I'll put that on our Facebook page. So Tshirt U podcast, I'll put that on. If you complete that, then we'll be good to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, you touched on it a little bit. Can you let the viewers know a little more about what your brand is all about? Like, what's behind your brand? What's the onus behind it?
Yeah. So it's really about entrepreneurship. Oftentimes, especially youth in Baltimore City and urban communities, I'm gonna say, they're not exposed to entrepreneurship. So we're giving the world K through 12 an opportunity to experience entrepreneurship. So all those entrepreneur and many individuals want to be an entrepreneur. Yes, we're saying you should be an entrepreneur. But it's really about education. How do we educate the next generation about entrepreneurship? And we're excited about the opportunity. We do a number of events. We do a youth conference where we bring 500 young people between the ages of 10 to 18 onto a college campus to just we just expose them to different areas of entrepreneurship, from creating an idea, from business planning, from financial literacy. We actually do some STEM stuff in there in the last couple of years. We also do a summer camp. So we do a summer camp focused on helping students create e-commerce businesses. So entrepreneur. So when you see that, that means that we're exposing youth to entrepreneurship via those two events. We got some other activities that are coming up, initiatives that will further expose youth to entrepreneur. So thanks for bringing that in, Murray.
Right. And another thing is too, why do you feel that teaching entrepreneurship to young folk is important? Because of course we have a lot of sports camps. We got basketball, football, and things of that nature. For our young African American kids or whoever. So why do you think teaching them about entrepreneurship is important?
It's interesting. Being on a college campus, I get this a lot. Are you born an entrepreneur, or can you be taught to be an entrepreneur? I would say both. My parents, even though my parents were entrepreneurs, my daughters, I taught them entrepreneurship.
Okay.
And I was taught entrepreneurship. We didn't call it entrepreneurship when we first started our business. We just said, well, we own the business.
Right.
I think it's really important because it really gives individuals an opportunity to be creative. When entrepreneurs start their business, they say that I'm gonna work for myself. But you still have people that you're going to report to. And those people are, if you have products like what we have, suppliers,
right,
you're going to report to your customers. So you still are even though it's your business, you're still interacting with other individuals. Even if you automate, you're still going to be working with other individuals. So teaching or providing the skill set of entrepreneurship to me is important because it does allow you to be a lot creative, but also gives you that mindset that I can do this. So even if you start a business and you failed in business, I failed in business, you can use those learning experiences and take that to another business, or you can take it to a job, if you will, because you'll still have that entrepreneurial mindset. So
Right.
that's why I think it's truly important for all of us to even experience it from a part-time basis. I mean, you don't have to do it full-time. You can do it on a part-time basis. I just think
Okay.
that people need to experience what entrepreneurship is all about.
Okay. And for me, what Black Paper Streetwear is all about is
You
reading
want me to ask
about.
you a question?
No, you didn't have to ask me. I
Yeah.
know it. I know it was on the tip of your tongue.
Yeah,
So I
it
just
is. Now let me ask the
yeah.
question. So, Merrick, I was just thinking about, I mean, what is the premise behind Black Paper? Yeah.
Okay. There you go. All right. So the premise behind Black Paper Streetwear, and y'all have to know this is my dude here. This is my
Yeah,
man, 50 grand Omar. But
absolutely.
the principle behind it is that in doing research about African Americans in this country and some of the things that we deal with, I came to find out that we spend over $1.2 trillion annually in the US economy.
Mm,
And there are studies done by certain universities to show that only 6 to 7% of that money goes back into the Black community. And part of that reason is that we're not spending our money with people that look like us.
wow.
So it's not crazy for you to walk outside of your home and see people of other ethnic groups owning stores in your community. And
Right.
when they leave, they shut that gate down. They're taking your money out of your community and investing it somewhere else, putting their kids through college or what have you. So it was just alarming to me how much collective spending power we have, and if we use that in a strategic way, we could change policy in our favor. And it's something simple. So if I use sports as a platform, so to speak, to drive this point home.
Mm,
You take the NFL at the height of the Kaepernick situation, right? And it was about kneeling or not kneeling.
mm,
Okay, you have 85% of the workforce is African American and football players represent. 100% of the ownership is white. If these guys said, because you had Jerry Jones, for the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, said if somebody takes a knee on the Dallas Cowboys, he won't be a Cowboy.
gone.
They're gone. So I just said to myself, what if every player just said, we're going to choose one Sunday, just one Sunday, we're not going to play.
Mm,
We're not going to play until you address some of these social issues in this country. I mean, really address it. We're not going to play. They would shut the league down.
mm,
So I use that to say that there are companies in the United States that depend almost solely, if not 100%, at least over 80% of our patronage. We put so many different businesses in the black, that giving them.
it's good, yo.
Right. I mean, right. Good.
You got Black Paper.
Right. Black paper. Putting them in the black,
Yeah.
putting them, up as far as profit is concerned. If we said, okay, we're not spending our money with this company anymore until you address our concerns. Your money speaks volumes. So I just said, if I say it, most people will turn, a blind ear to what I'm saying. Who is Murphy? Who is this guy saying this stuff? So I said, maybe I need to put it in a fashionable way to make it a popular thing. But then as you're pumped up about the designs and the graphics, then I can hit you with the education, on the back end. They were saying, okay, this thing really means something. Hey, let's wake up, y'all, and not spend our money so frivolously, because that's what they depend on. And if people don't believe your money has power,
Yeah.
the NFL, during this whole situation, people start saying, stop watching the NFL. So black people in large numbers said, we're not watching anymore. You know, Roger Goodell said, this is hurting our bottom line. Mr. Jay-Z, can you come hook up with us and we'll film you being sitting next to me and shaking hands and all that. And so we're saying, hey guys, we're down with Jay-Z. You can start watching again.
Yeah.
And what? The numbers start going back up and they're happy, but nothing got addressed, in my opinion, about the social things that were being, injustices that were being done to us as a whole. So I just really want this brand to represent, hey, you're the way you spend has power.
That's right.
You can really change policy if you want to, just by saying, I'm not spending my money over here anymore. It can work.
Hence black paper, yeah.
Yeah.
Hence black paper.
It's black paper.
It's black paper, man. So yeah. We'll talk more about branding and what your brand says to the world as well. All right. Anything else, Murph, you want to add before we close out? And that's the thing. We want to make sure we keep them to 30 minutes. But I mean, this is the first one, y'all. So we're over a little bit.
Yeah. So one of the things too, in trying to do the things that I've been doing, a lot of times I've been, trying to do them by myself.
Yeah.
And some saying that in reference to being an entrepreneur, especially in my personal experience, a lot of times you find out, or I found that I'm by myself trying to do certain things.
Yeah.
And as far as your mindset is, because this is important, I want people to know, the same way that you may receive, I'm talking to the audience, so to speak, that you may receive doubt in your mind that this is not going to work. People are not going to believe in it. People are not going to buy it. It costs too much. I'm not deserving of it. I get those same talks in my head, those same voices in my head. But the difference is I push through it. So I don't want you to think that is something special about me, that differentiates me from you. I get those same things, all of us do. If you read books about successful people, you just think you'll find out they're no different than you. They went through worse things, and persevered. So I think spiritually, I just say, I'm gonna push through. And then I will tell you 10 times out of 10, if I have a doubt about something or I feel a little anxiety about something, 10 times out of 10, it turns out better than what I thought it was going to be. It never fails. Yeah. So I should smile when it comes, when those voices come. I really should start rejoicing, because all it means is I must be that much closer to reaching that goal that I want to reach. So I just wanted to impart that, because sometimes so many beautiful ideas go to the grave with people because they talk themselves out of trying. Absolutely. Or taking a shot. And you can do it. You can.
Yeah. And we're here to do that. We're here to help. So, although it's called Tshirt University, it's about building your brand. Whether it's a t-shirt, a cap, socks, or what have you, we're here to provide that entrepreneurship training, as well as that branding piece. And we're going to bring people on to help us all build our brands. So that's why we say Tshirt University podcast, taking your brand to school. Because although, we're not in a physical school, it's still an opportunity to learn, like continuous learning, if you will.
Right.
That's one of our core values of the family, continuous learning. You always want to learn. Right. And that's where we are as entrepreneurs as well.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else
Uh,
before we wrap up?
that was it, my brother,
Good deal.
my good brother.
All right. All right. So right now you can find us on T-shirt U, the letter U podcast on Facebook. When we come back again, we'll have all the rest of the channels open and ready for you as well. And we'll be back on next month. We're on, what do we say, the first Tuesday of the month, and it's going to be during lunchtime. So no excuse.
Okay, no
So
excuse.
if you miss us, you can always go back to the video. So we'll be on every month at lunchtime. That's 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for those who are not on Eastern Standard Time. And then, just thank you. Thank you. We look forward to the journey. And, after each episode, your homework is to apply, what you learned today. We drop some nuggets. It's up to you to figure out what those nuggets are, but we'll probably post them on the Facebook, post them on Facebook as well. But your homework is to apply, today's lessons to your brand, and just to keep it going. Tell someone else about Tshirt University podcast, and tell somebody else about your brand. So we're looking forward to helping you with your brand, and then having fun with it. So
That's right.
that's all I have. Thanks, Murph.
Sure.
We're gonna sign out, and thank you all for checking in. And we'll
Thanks.
see you next time on T-shirt University podcast. Peace.
Peace.